everybody, I'm Courtney Bird. Welcome to the first official Cooking with Courtney. As some of you know, I am a singer-songwriter, but I also have a deep passion for health and wellness and fitness. So as I've promised you guys, I'm going to show you how to make some 130 calorie banana muffins. These things are awesome for on the go, before you go to the gym, post-gym. They have enough protein, but the great thing about it is all ingredients are, gluten-free. So I've gotten into this thing recently where I like to recycle my food. So if my bananas start to go bad, or strawberries or blueberries, I make sure that I can find something to make that will take these ingredients, and these muffins have been great for that. So I'm going to get started and tell you a little bit about the ingredients. If you have any questions at all, just leave them below in the comments and I would be more than happy to answer them. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're going to need, what kind of tools, and that. We'll do a little bit of cooking and then we'll see the end result together. So here we go. Alright, so for your dry ingredients, you will need King Arthur's whole white wheat flour, 100%. I use this stuff for everything. If I want to make gluten-free muffins, gluten-free pancakes, or protein pancakes, really you can use it for everything. But this is really, really good for gluten-free, especially if you have stomach issues. This stuff has been a savior of my life. As far as salt goes for the recipe, you can either use a salt substitute or pink Himalayan sea salt. As you know, sometimes if you grind this out, you still got to chop it a little bit finer, but it's really not going to hurt you either way. I just like to use the salt substitute. It's got a little pour thing and it's easy just to put my measuring spoon up there and get what I need. So whichever one you prefer is fine. There's no right or wrong method of salt there. And then right here is ground cinnamon. I found this at TJ Maxx, but you can actually get cinnamon at your grocery store or wherever you shop. So I know they've got it at Publix and Winn-Dixie. I have not looked at Walmart, but Walmart has everything, so does Target. So anyway, so you can get whatever cinnamon works for you. And then brown sugar. This is dark brown sugar. I found that it has a little bit better of a taste than the light brown for this recipe, but the main thing is just making sure that it's the premium pure cane sugar, and you can get this literally at the dollar store. And I know this is a ridiculously big box of baking soda, but I use it for a lot of things other than just cooking. I use it to whiten my teeth. I use it to clean. I use it for so many different things. So I know that's a ridiculously big box, but it is part of the recipe. As far as your wet ingredients go, you're definitely going to need Greek yogurt. I personally use this one because it's the 000. No added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, 0% fat. So for me, this works. I can just get 1/4 cup out of it, eat the rest of it, and go on. But you can use literally any Greek yogurt, and it doesn't have to be vanilla either. I just like vanilla. And then of course you're going to need your eggs. You're just going to need 1 egg, 3/4 cup of milk, I believe, but we'll get the recipe down there, and then honey. So these are your dry ingredients. These are your wet ingredients. Now, as far as the fruit goes, you'll need 2 ripe bananas. I usually like them more ripe than this, but luckily my blending tools will allow me to get them to the same texture as if they were completely ripened. So, when your bananas start going bad, there's a lot of things you can do with them. Pancakes, muffins, bread that's gluten-free. So keep that in mind. And then this recipe calls for blueberries, but I'm going to add strawberries too. And I've had these sitting out in warm water to thaw. I put them in the freezer because I thought, well, I can either make a smoothie with them or put them both in the muffins. So I'm getting these ready to be cooked, but I actually froze them a week ago. So that just goes to show that you can recycle your fruit and not waste your money on groceries. As far as cooking tools and things like that goes, really you're just going to need measuring cups, and I could actually use a 1 cup. I'm not sure where it is. Things just disappear sometimes, but you can get these literally anywhere, even at Dollar Tree, even TJ Maxx, anywhere. So doesn't matter what brand of spoons you use, you're just going to need them. And then also, if you don't have this stuff, you can always use a traditional measuring cup. So, but this is easier or more user-friendly for your wet ingredients versus your dry. These are better for dry, better for wet, but you can use them for absolutely anything. And then I'm going to be using a mixer, and these are the tools I'm going to be using. So anyways, and I'll be using these metal bowls, and you can use plastic or wood or however you get down, it really doesn't matter. So let's get started cooking. Earlier I forgot to mention that I got this actually from Pinterest, so I will be posting the link below. Right now I'm going to preheat the oven at 350, so I'm just going to come over here and preheat the oven, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my cooking spray and go ahead and spray the muffin pan, and we're just going to set it aside once this is done. As far as the cooking spray goes, this is canola. However, you can really get anything you want, like vegetable oil, olive oil, and I think they even have some boutique ones, not at Publix obviously, but other places where it's like coconut oil or olive oil with garlic. So it really just depends on your preference. Of course you don't want garlic in these muffins. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, so just any cooking spray will work, but remember you want to stick to the stuff that we know is good for you. So that's the whole point of it. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 1/2 cup scoop with my King Arthur's life-saving whole wheat white wheat flour, and I'm going to put 2 cups in there, so 2.5. So that's a half. 1. 2. And then this will make it 2.5, and that's all you need. Just kind of make sure that you level out your measuring cup so you're not giving excess to it. It can change the texture just a tiny bit if you put too much, and we don't want them to be dry, we want them to stay moist. So that's our first big dry ingredient, and then our second dry ingredient is going to be 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And since I knew it was a big box and I was going to need this much, I went ahead and put it in a small bowl, and I'm going to use the rest of it for a teeth whitening recipe later. So I'm going to put that 1 teaspoon of baking soda in there, and then set this aside for my teeth whitening later. And then we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and like I said earlier, this one has a little pouring thing, which is convenient, so it's really easy when you want to get that 1/4 cup or 1/4 teaspoon. I keep saying cup. And you're going to get a little excess, and that's okay, but alright, so there's 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to go in with 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Here's my 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm just going to bring this up, dip this in here, level it out, and there we go. So that's our dry ingredients, and we've got that going on for us. I'm just going to double check and make sure I have everything. And believe it or not, the brown sugar does not go in with this mixture. It goes in with another mixture. So I'm just going to mix this up. You can see that was super simple. You can bring it over a little bit if you want, just for that extra touch. But you can see that that mixes very, very easily. So we're done with mixing our dry ingredients. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bananas, and we're going to put them over here in this small one. So I'm just going to peel these bananas. And I'm kind of barbaric in a sense, because I like to just tear them apart versus, you know, cutting them with a knife, because that would just make sense. Just kidding. And see, that has a little brown. That doesn't matter. That's perfect. So there's one banana. And here goes banana number 2. Woo, let's not drop you. These are a little more ripe than I thought, which is a good thing. So we're literally going to put this all together. And I'm gonna wipe my hands real quick. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my mixer, and we're going to make these bananas really mushy. my nice mixer my sweet husband got me for my birthday, and I love it. Not this year, last year, but I love it. And you can get mixers for a really reasonable price. I just bake a lot, so he was really sweet and got me a nice one. But they have them almost anywhere. I've even seen them at Dollar General for like $9, and they work great. When I had my first place on my own, I just had a cheap one and it worked excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend up these bananas. All right, now we're going to add 1/4 cup of yogurt. And like I said earlier, I like to just take this and kind of just dip it in there for 1/4 cup. So I kind of do like this. And I just take one of these and kind of even it out. This is actually the first thing on Pinterest I think I actually mastered. Everything else I've ever done has been an epic fail. So I'm quite proud of this because I felt like I really accomplished something when these muffins came out really good. I was like, oh my God, Pinterest success instead of a Pinterest fail. All right, so we're gonna add the yogurt. And we're going to add an egg. And you don't want to get any shells in there. So careful. Trot over here and rinse my hands off. There's our oven. It's ready at a whopping 350. So we're going to go ahead and whip this up just a little bit without the milk. And then the last thing we add to this will be the milk. And so we're going to add a little milk, and I'm going to save the milk just to use in there later, which it doesn't say that in the recipe, but I do it anyway. All right, so this is where this gets messy. So you need 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and I just kind of do it like this because it always like gets packed in there hard. And I'm gonna rig this. I'm going to cut this. Make it easier to get this out. Brown sugar can be real tricky. And you just wanna pack it down because that's the secret to brown sugar is packing it when you're gonna use it. So I'm just gonna continue to fill this up, pat it down. And I've cooked these so many times, I'm at the bottom of my brown sugar, so that worked out perfect. So awesome. So there you go, 1/2 cup. So you're gonna take your brown sugar and you're just gonna dump it in the bowl. Man, I wish I would have done that prettier. Just kidding. And then we're gonna take our 1/4 cup, it says, of honey. This is local honey. I got it at, actually my roommate got it for me at the local Trade Day. And it's local and it's really good. But you can use any kind of honey, even if you got it at the grocery store. I am okay with that. But this just happens to be local, so we went with local. And if you need to find out where to get some honey, let me know. I have a great friend who her parents are beekeepers, and I would be more than happy to supply you guys with a link to their bee farm if you want to order you some honey. It won't be local if you're not in Alabama, but it's still really, really good. All right, so now that we've done this, what we have to do here, and I'm just gonna seal my honey back up real quick so I don't get it everywhere. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to blend this together. And what's gonna happen is this is gonna go in that, and then it's all gonna go in here. So I'm gonna start working on this a little bit. I'm gonna have to go lower. I do everything on turbo, like there's no other option. Come on now, come on. The way to do it is not crunchy, it's more paste. Well, there you go, paste. Do this way. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of the banana mixture to it. Okay, at this point you have made a solid liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding a little bit of this to the dry ingredients. And you wanna do it a little bit at a time. And you wanna do enough so that you don't have this crazy flying mixture of dry ingredients. So you just kind of start in the dry ingredients where it's wet, add a little more. And this is that point where I'm gonna add some milk to help. Whoops. All right, so now we have this wonderful, beautiful muffin mix. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this, throw these in the dirty pile. And we're gonna get to the point now to where we add the fruit. So I thawed out these strawberries, as I had mentioned earlier, and I'm just gonna throw them in there. Oops, I threw something away. And then I'm just gonna take a handful of blueberries and kind of get them in there as well. Okay, I think I'll save a few of these for a smoothie. And now I'm just gonna take a wooden spoon and I'm gonna mix it all up in there. And like I said, it calls for blueberries, but hey, if you've got some strawberries, get them bad boys in there too. Blackberries, anything you want. On second thought, I'm gonna use all of them. There is no set amount of blueberries. I literally just dumped them in there. All right. We've got our muffin dough. The oven's preheated at 350. Remember, we greased this pan earlier. You can see how this mix looks. It's really thick, but that's a good thing. So I just greased this up so nothing sticks to it. And any excess, I just kind of, but it really stays, it doesn't matter. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a scoop of this right here in the ladle soup chili thing. And I'm just gonna fill up the muffin thing. That's actually a little too much, but that's okay. We can deal with that. All right, so now we've got those scooped. I'm just gonna take this wooden spoon and kind of like clean it up a little bit, if you will. You know, just kind of pat them out. So then you won't get that much overflow. And I'm actually gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna get some of this over here and put it right here, because I don't want a massive overflow. So I'm just gonna recycle and put it over here. There you go, Life Hacks 101, how to make your muffins cleaner. And then I'm gonna take this out and away from it, okay? So now that we got our muffins in the pan, we're actually gonna just put them in the oven. And it's gonna take, usually it takes around 25-30 minutes, but I'm gonna double check the recipe just so I'm not wrong. 17 to 18 minutes. I was way off. So let's put it on like 16:30 and we'll check on them then. All right, let's check on these muffins. I put them in for 16:30 just to see maybe if that would be a good time. So I'm going to take a toothpick. That one looks burnt, that's okay. And I'm gonna stick it in here and see if they're ready. That one looks pretty good. Let's check this one. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. That one needs a little bit more time. So, I mean, what am I going to do here? I'll just wipe it on my mitt. Oh well. And that one needs a little more time. Okay, so we see that they all need, we have two that need a little bit more time and some that seem more done. That's okay, because even though they seem done, they may still need a little bit more time cooking just for texture and shape and that kind of thing to keep them together. So I'm just gonna put them back in there for like another 2 minutes. All right, so the muffins are ready to come out. So I'm gonna get them out. It's already been 2 minutes. That was a quick 2 minutes. And I'm just gonna set them right here and let them cool for a minute. And then I'm gonna tend to some boiling water. Remember that all of the goals that you set for yourself can be achieved. It's a process. It takes progress. It's not gonna happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You only get results with hard work. Thank you.